Anbernic RG477V review. Smoother retro gaming, better screen fit, and less setup friction. You finally carve out an hour to play. Load up a favorite PS2 game, and the handheld starts fighting back with stutter, cramped visuals, or controls that feel just a little off. I have seen that mood change fast. A friend sat down to relax with a racing game and spent half the session tweaking settings instead. Not fun. If that sounds familiar, you probably know why some handhelds never quite become daily favorites. It gets heavier over time. You lose evenings to set up, second-guess every emulator choice, and slowly start wondering whether portable retro gaming is supposed to feel this fiddly and mentally noisy. One longtime handheld owner told me he had a drawer full of almost right devices, which is funny until it really is your drawer. That adds up. The good news is that a better balance of power, screen quality, and comfort does exist. Don't just buy any Android handheld. Make sure it has a 4x3 1280Hz display and Dimensity 8300 performance, so you never suffer from stutter, black bars, and constant settings frustration again. That is where the Anbernic RG477V starts making real sense. It gives you the kind of smooth PS2, GameCube, Wii, PSP, and Dreamcast emulation that feels playable instead of theoretical, while the 4.7-inch 1280x960 screen lets older systems fill the display naturally. I watched one user load a GameCube title and just smile when the image snapped in clean and bright with no awkward dead space around it. Another friend jumped from a heavy Android game into PSP emulation, felt the Hall effect stick settle in smoothly, and immediately stopped talking about upgrades for once. Little miracle. Active cooling, Wi-Fi 6E, USB-C DisplayPort out, and fast charging also make it more versatile than the usual retro-only handheld. There is one small detail about that vertical design, though, that matters more in daily use than spec sheets admit. After a few weeks, the Anbernic RG477V starts feeling less like a shiny experiment and more like the handheld you instinctively reach for. Reviewers who tested it daily kept coming back to the same points. The 4.7-inch 120Hz 4x3 display looks unusually right for retro systems, and the Dimensity 8300 gives PS2 and GameCube emulation room to breathe instead of constantly negotiating compromises. One user basically said, "I was playing within an hour, and the Hall sticks felt premium immediately," which tells you a lot about first-week friction. Another longtime Anbernic owner described the Wi-Fi 6E connection as a real upgrade for cloud streaming, not just a spec sheet decoration. That matters. And while the vertical body is larger and heavier than smaller retro handhelds, that trade-off tends to make more sense once you experience the screen, battery, cooling, and control quality together. If you mostly play analog-heavy games for very long sessions, you may still want to tune your grip or layout a bit, which is fair. But that mild adjustment is exactly why growing numbers of retro enthusiasts and Android gamers keep paying attention to this model. Would this screen shape fit your playstyle better? You can see why more serious handheld fans keep circling back to it, especially when daily usability matters as much as raw power. The Anbernic RG477V feels like the kind of handheld you buy to stop shopping for handhelds every other month. More retro players and Android gamers are noticing it because the mix of strong emulation, premium controls, fast charging, and that unusually good 4x3 screen solves real everyday annoyances instead of just adding specs. Nicely done. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. Availability and configurations can shift, so it is worth taking a look now and seeing whether the Anbernic RG477V fits the way you actually play.
For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.